Like, this one is, would I be the asshole for scaring a struggling single mother into paying me? Yes. Yes. What is this wording? Would I be the asshole for? I'm sorry, this is probably really messed up. I, 20 female, had a medical situation arise 2 weeks prior to a music festival that I had been planning to attend. I posted my 2 tickets for sale on Facebook, and a mutual reached out saying she wanted to purchase them. Let's call her L, 19 female. Some background info. Elle got pregnant in high school and now has a 4-year-old. I had attended 2 school dances with their friend group over years prior, so I knew who she was and I sort of considered her to be a friend. She came from a good family. We had plenty of mutuals, and I felt she was a nice girl from the interactions we had. I originally purchased my tickets for $600, but since I was selling them sort of last minute, I posted them for $450. Elle originally said she'd love to go, but she recently got diagnosed with diabetes and had medical bills to pay. She asked if I'd accept $300 if nobody else bought them. I wanted someone to get the opportunity to go to this festival even if I couldn't, so I agreed. That means I'd only get 50% of what I originally paid for the tickets, not including hotel and parking. This event had wristband tickets, so Elle arrived at my house to pick up the wristband the following Monday. She asked to pay in 2 to 3 installments because she needed to take care of her kid and had medical bills that needed to be paid off. I told her that was fine, and she asked, would it be alright if I gave you money on Thursday since that's when I get paid? What the heck? She shouldn't have bought the tickets. I agreed again. Like I said, I'd met this girl, we had mutuals, I knew her family, I trusted her. Thursday came around, and Elle posted on Facebook that she took a spontaneous trip to Florida with her best friend. I asked if she was going to pay me, and she said she'd give me cash when she got back since she didn't have Venmo. Elle returns from vacation, and I text her asking if she has my money. She says she's been laid off from her job, but she'd borrow money from her mom to pay me that weekend. The weekend comes, no word from her. I text her again, and she says she needs a bit longer, but she promises she's good for the cash, and she's sorry for how long it's taken. The event arrives, and still nothing. Elle attends the 4-day festival, but upon her return, I hear no word. She sends me a text saying she's babysitting for cash and to please understand because she's struggling to even put gas in her car. She says that she pays me, then she won't have money to take care of her kid. As I mentioned, I'm 20 and I have bills to pay too. It's been a month and a half now, and Elle still hasn't paid me a penny. She says I'm being selfish for asking her for money, that she has a kid to feed. What? I want to request a civil standby. Officer accompanies me to reclaim my property. Oh, I can't afford to lose this money, but I don't actually want to put her through court. I feel I may be the asshole since she has a child to care for, but I also feel like I don't owe her anything, especially since I already gave her a discount for $300, and I have expenses too. Oh my god. I feel like the approach, I don't know, hold on. That's crazy. First of all, that is kind of crazy. It would kind of scare them, yeah. She's already guilt tripping her for, like, I'm struggling, like, to do all this, and she did the thing, she did a spontaneous vacation, which I get, like, you should be able to treat yourself, but also, you asked to pay it in installments. If you didn't have the money, that's fair, I get it, like, you know, but you should pay, because you said you would. I don't know. I don't think you're the asshole on this one, because it's kind of messed up, but it's whatever they're starting to be like, I need to feed my kid, which, yes, you do. But it just seems like you're not good. It's just not a good feeling. So, not the asshole. Don't do the scared tactic, but do file a small claim suit against her. Even if it doesn't go anywhere, she needs to learn a lesson. The whole boo-hoo, I'm a single mother, I have medical bills, is nothing but crybaby entitlement. I don't know. She shouldn't have agreed to pay for festival tickets if she can't afford to feed her kid. Very true. A different approach will be better. So, the asshole, you are the asshole for the way that you wanted to approach the situation, but it does suck for the situation that led to this series of events. I don't know. Yeah, Yes, the asshole. Yes, the asshole. This one is, am I the asshole for not communicating that I wanted to go Dutch before dinner? What does that mean?
So you just pay your portion.
Yeah, that's exactly it. It is a practice, a very common practice, actually. Just never heard of this phrase for how often it happens. I feel like going out for dinner with anyone is like assuming that you're gonna pay for yourself. But that's just me. No? No? I don't know. I feel like communication is key.
So like, that's something you can probably safely assume?
Yeah. I don't know. That is a general assumption, I feel like. But not everybody thinks that.
Oh yeah. I don't think everyone thinks it, but I think it's okay to think it.
Yeah. Mayhaps.
Like, I wouldn't be upset with anyone for assuming that's what we're doing.
Yeah. Hi all. I'll do my best to keep this post clear, concise, and most of all as unbiased as I can. My wife, brother-in-law, his wife, and two sisters-in-law and myself go out to dinner regularly. I often foot the bill just to be nice. Ooh. It's been quite a few times that I've consecutively paid the bill in an attempt to be generous. My siblings-in-laws are just starting out with their careers, and I'm just a little more established with mine. On one particular night, we invited my brother-in-law and his wife to dinner, and they came with us. My brother-in-law had recently lost his job, but the fact that they agreed to dinner made me think that they were still good with their funds because they decided to come anyway. When the bill came, I told the server to split the bill. They were taken aback because they got used to me paying all the time. My wife told me that I should have made it clear that I intended to split the check and everyone pay their own share before we went to dinner, and that it was a dick move that I did not. You did kind of pay for all of them before, so it's... My point of view is that they shouldn't have expected me to pay all the time, and the fact that I've done it so much have made them entitled to it. Am I the asshole? That's true. Like, the invite. We're going to such and such place at such and such time. You guys are more than welcome to join us if you'd like. Also, I wasn't supposed to know that he lost his job, which for some reason may have made it slip from when the bill came. I didn't look at the bill and think, F him, he lost his job and let me rub the salt in the wound anyway. Like many of you think, legitimately slipped my mind, and I was reminded of it after the fact by my wife. I'm only human, but this aside doesn't seem to change anything anyway. For the record, they paid. Nobody said anything at that moment, and we parted ways. For a while, I thought nothing of it until I heard they were not happy about it later with rhetoric that found its way back to me. That is really poor timing. I will give him that. That was very poor timing. It is true that you had like paid for it quite a few times. It is good to also assume to just pay for yourself every single time for food. This is true. I feel like that's etiquette, right? But that's kind of crazy. It's very poor timing though. I will say it's very poor timing. Like, sorry you lost your job. And we totally forgot. If he said something, the wife probably would have reminded him before anyway, you know? I'm gonna say, like, I understand why, but also it's just, like, really poor timing. So does that make them the asshole? What do you think? What do you think?
I think in his particular circumstance, he probably, should have said something beforehand.
Yeah.
But I'm also in the camp of, like, the brother should have been like, well, to be clear, I can't afford to do this.
Yeah. It feels like it does kind of go both ways in that sense.
Either way, one of them should have said something.
Yes. Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's just... There is a series of, like, misses that happen at the same time. So... No, they did end up paying, but oh my god. This one's already deemed not the asshole, so let's see if how they are not the asshole. So am I the asshole for telling my landlords I don't want to maintain their pool? No. My landlords recently moved out and are planning on renting out their apartment in the future. They didn't even tell me until the day of that they were moving out. They then messaged me saying that they wanted to come back and have a discussion about pool management. I told them I don't want to be responsible for managing it because I'm paranoid about something that could happen and I would be held responsible for their pool and I don't have the funds to fix it if something were to happen. I'm also not home every day, and I just don't want to take on that responsibility. They got upset, saying all I would have to do is flip a switch on and off every day and put chlorine in once a week. I also don't even know where they would go to buy the chlorine, and I'm already struggling to keep up with my bills. I don't want to add extra gas money to go get chlorine and then have to send them a receipt and wait to get reimbursed for the chlorine gas. This really feels like a full-time job that I didn't ask for, nor is it part of my lease. Am I the asshole for not wanting to take care of their pool after they moved out? Although I don't think it's a full-time job, I do think it is absolutely within your rights to not to not want to do it. Like, absolutely. Yeah, not the asshole, absolutely not. Am I the asshole for telling my vegan sister that I will not remodel her home anymore if she doesn't serve me meat? Yes? That's weird. I mean, if you I mean, maybe just pay for food or something if they're I don't know. No? Yes? I would say yes. It feels very demanding, but okay, I would say yes. My sister bought a home and it needs a lot of work. I told her that I would be willing to do it if she provided food and the materials. Okay, so it was a deal. I am anemic and fainted a lot as a child. Almost all of my meals have some type of meat in them or are very heavy in protein. This is the problem. The meals my sister have been serving have left me hungry and lightheaded. The work is labor intensive, and me working in the morning until late afternoon usually makes me feel awful by the end of the day. Yeah, that makes sense. I brought my own food one day and it wasn't an issue, so I asked she to make heavier meals that have more protein in them. It hasn't been working. Yesterday I fainted, and after I informed her that I need her to make meals with meat in them or I will not be remodeling things anymore. She thinks I am a huge jerk for asking this on her, and I am standing firm on this. I am also not willing to bring my own food since I'm doing her a huge favor already by remodeling her home. Sister can just buy food. She can buy food. Sister can go buy food because they're remodeling the house. I think that's just not asshole thing. Order Uber Eats. Yeah, not the asshole. I was wrong. You agreed to help pay. You agreed to feed them. It makes sense. This is, am I the asshole for double checking with my husband before making plans with a friend? I want to say no, that's weird. Alright, I, 26 female, have been married to my husband, 29 male, for 2 years, and we have a 9-month-old son. My friend Amy, 27 female, is normally a very fun friend, but recently I've been noticing that when she asks me to do something and I tell her I need to double check with my husband, she gets annoyed. I admittedly never really used to do this, but since I had a baby, it makes more sense to do because my husband was already making plans. It's not like we can just do our own separate things anymore. We have a baby to think of and need to plan to find someone to babysit if we'll both be out. This past weekend, I went to the movies with Amy, and after it was over, she suggested we go get dinner. This wasn't originally the plan, so I said, yes, sounds good. Let me call my husband really quick. And before I could even finish my sentence, she literally stomped off and shouted, forget it. I was literally so confused, and she had drove me there, so I had to call my husband and come get me, and he had to wake up our baby to do so. She left her there? That's pretty messed up. The next day, Amy texted me a bunch of long texts and basically said it's creepy that I have to let my husband know my every move, and that it's rude for me to do that because we make plans together. My husband isn't invited, so he doesn't need to weigh in. I tried to tell her that I literally just needed to let him know where I was so he didn't worry, but she kept repeating herself, but then also insinuated that my husband is abusive. First off, I would put the hurt on him, and he never tried to abuse me. And second, I don't think that's abusive to ask your partner to let you know your whereabouts. I'm a mother. I can't just disappear. And he also would never tell me no, I can't go somewhere. He actively tells me to go out with friends. But if I don't come home when I say I will, then I should at least call to let him know so he doesn't think I'm dead in a ditch. I told Amy this, and she was not having it. Amy, girl, what the fuck? Also, for context, Amy has only ever been in one exclusive relationship when we were in school. They broke up before graduation and never lived together. So maybe that's part of it, but she really seems to believe in being controlled and that I should just do my thing and not check in with my husband. My mom said from now on, probably don't tell her I'm checking in with him, but still do it in text. But my husband said she's the disrespectful one and that I could do better than her as a friend. So am I the asshole? I don't like her. She's not your friend. That's what the husband said. Not the asshole. Your friend is being a little weird about that. It is you have baby, you know? This is this big team effort here. Yeah, no. Not the asshole. Definitely not the asshole.